Tallinn, Estonia. The film is about a famous violinist from Belgium who arrives in Kiev to perform. The date is February 2022 and his trip is turned upside down when Russia starts in Ukraine. The musician survived a series of inhumane crimes and bloody provocations perpetrated by Ukrainian nationalists and wants to tell the world what this is really like. He portrays Ukrainian soldiers as violent neo-Nazis who torture and kill their own people. One even wears a t-shirt that says Hitler. Another is shown using drugs. At same time, the younger son of main character wonders, isn't Ukraine Russia? This is narrative Kremlin has promoted since early days of war. It's all crammed into a movie. The release witness comes after Russian authorities announced a plan to ramp up the production. Films praising Moscow's actions in Ukraine. And this plan is part a growing number propaganda films, but in times of war and other times in the age of instant information and disinformation. Two questions arise: are propaganda films really effective? So are these good? Will the viewers come? Whether such films will attract viewers is a big question. Similar movies were box office disasters. Also, sociologists say that public's interest in following war has waned. And people these days mostly want to escape gloom and calamity of news from Ukraine. We regularly hear that this is a great stress, a great pain, says Denis Volkov, director of Russia's leading independent survey organization Levada Center. He says some Russians insist that they do not discuss, watch, listen to the news about Ukraine in order to cope with this stress. From early days of the Soviet Union to its wartime use by Nazi Germany, Italy, and even United States during immediately after World War II. Film is an important tool that governments use to shape patriotic messages. In more modern times, North Korea's founder, Kim Il-sung, and his son and successor, Kim Jong-il, regularly presided over the release of propaganda films. For example, civil war in Syria has become the focus of soap operas on Ramadan TV over past decade. Some of them supported Syrian President Bashar Assad. Iran regularly funds films that praise the hardliners and paramilitary forces it supports. Throughout the region, propaganda as fiction in today's Russia is not a haphazard endeavor. Russian officials have spoken openly about their intention to bring Ukrainian war, or rather the Russian narrative of that war, to big screen. Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered Ministry of Culture to have documentaries shown in movie theaters about special military operation that Kremlin calls war in Ukraine. The ministry also prioritized themes when allocating state funding to films. These include heroism, sacrifice Russian fighters, and the struggle with modern manifestations of Nazi-fascist ideology in Ukraine. This is a false accusation that Putin made against leaders. Kiev. More government funding available to Russian film.